Hi, everybody. It's Diane Neto, living in Barrie channel. Today I'm going to talk to you a little about being a new home buyer and a first-time buyer and kind of giving you a little bit of map of what you need to do. I found a nice little checklist that kind of helps us a little bit, and I'll share the screen. Now, one of the first things that you should do is get a credit score check. Because under I think it's 620, 630, sometimes you can get a lender. 645, usually you're fine. But if you have that lower credit score, then your interest rate is usually higher. So you want to check your credit score. You can go on your bank app and just look at your TransUnion score. Now the Equifax one is usually a little bit lower, but it'll at least give you a range. So the biggest thing right away is if you don't have the credit score right off the top, then at least one of you, if you're buying with a partner, then you got to fix the credit score because you're not getting a mortgage. So the next thing is determine affordability. So the home costs, the monthly mortgage, and all the other costs. So you would figure out what a mortgage payment would be, heat, hydro, your insurance. Now, on average, insurance is a couple, like 150, 200 bucks. Utilities on the average house, I always tell people to go between $400 and $500. That's just a roundabout, right? This is just a roundabout at this time. You're just doing an average of things to see, hey, can I do this? Then your down payment saved. So as a new home buyer, you can do 5% down, but you have to qualify for the mortgage. So you can put less money down, but your payments would be higher, right? Get pre-qualified. So that's one of the biggest things too. Now, what I suggest people to do is to get a mortgage broker. And the reason why is you don't pay for the mortgage broker. The lender actually pays a commission to that mortgage broker, but they shop around at all different banks. So RBC, when you get pre-approved, you're actually pre-approved all the way up to the closing, the offer process. When they approve you, you're approved. A lot of the other lenders, they'll give you a pre-approval, but you don't have actually a full approval until you have a deal, because they just kind of throw your numbers down without having, the actual house price, the taxes. So they only give you a pre-approval, but that is not a hard and steady, yes, you can get this house and you have a mortgage. Research the market. So look around and kind of see in your area where you want to be. Go on realtor.ca, see what kind of houses are available in your price range, or condos. Now, if you have a condo, the condo fee gets added to your monthly mortgage fee and your tax fee, and that's what they use. So you have to be approved for all those three things combined. It's on average between, I think, 35 and 37% of your gross earnings. So you take both of your incomes or just your income and then figure out, okay, if I have to pay the taxes, the mortgage, and the condo fee, how much would it be a month? If it's $2,000 and you can only be approved for $1,500, then it's out, right? Get pre-approved. Pre-qualified and pre-approved to me is the same thing, right? Because you're looking to get somebody in the mortgage business, in the money business, to say, hey, I can get you a mortgage. Because until you get all those steps done, there's no point in actually looking at anything, right? Like, you got to make sure you can afford it first. Then find a realtor. So a realtor, you can interview 2 or 3, get a referral, somebody you know, and start house hunting. Now, once you know what your budget is and what your area is, you can narrow it down. You can narrow down your choices. Now, here it says pick your house, choose a lender. Well, this is backwards. You can't really choose a lender yourself. You could go to the TD Bank and the Scotia Bank, and just for a heads up, Scotia is easier to get approval than TD or RBC. Scotia and CIBC are the two easier ones. I think you can use a BMO and stuff too, but a mortgage broker could get you Lendwise, Impact. There's all kinds of different mortgage things out there for people other than the top 5 banks. The top 5 banks are usually a little tougher. Credit unions a little bit easier. Then it's make an offer. So you have to make an offer, come to an agreement, then the offer gets accepted. You should always get a home inspection condition in your offer and a finance condition. Even if you have a pre-approval, that doesn't mean, just like I said, that it's 100%. You need the deal first for them to send to an underwriter. They don't send you to an underwriter till you actually have a deal. The bank will worry about getting the appraisal. You complete the paperwork, meaning you firm up the house, you remove all your conditions, you've bought the house, and close the sale. Well, a lot of things they're not talking about here too is you got to make sure you have the closing costs, which I think, I don't know, the Royal says is about 2%, but you need to pay a lawyer fee. You need to pay land transfer tax. Now, if you're a first-time buyer, I think it's a $4,000 or $4,500 credit on land transfer tax. So you'll get that. But there still might be, depending on the cost of the house, you still might have to pay some land transfer tax and adjustments. So if I've paid for my taxes for the whole year and you buy my house in June, on the statement of adjustments, you got to pay me back for the 6 months that I've already prepaid, right? So there could be fees along the way. So you have land transfer tax. You could have the statement of adjustments. There could be things you have to prepay back or pay back. And then you're going to have the legal fees to close the deal. And it's always more than you think. Like I've done this, you know, a few times myself. And I always think, oh, I need 10 grand. And I ended up needing 12. So if you could have a buffer, that's even better for you. And once you choose a realtor, they can go through and at least explain the costs involved. But I'll tell you, depending on your credit rating, I never tell people what their mortgage payment's going to be because I don't know. So you can go on a mortgage calculator and I can give you a roundabout number, but I can't give you an exact because I don't know your credit rating. I don't want to know it. It's not my job. So you shouldn't be getting advice like that. Even closing costs. Ask your lawyer about closing costs. Ask your mortgage guy about a mortgage payment. And if you get the taxes in the mortgage, a lot of banks won't allow that anymore, but we used to be able to put your taxes inside of the mortgage payment, and every month it would come all as one. So you wouldn't have to worry about an $800 tax bill every quarter, you know? So you have to ask those questions because a real estate agent can help you with the house, with the inspection, do the offer, firm it up, do all those things. But trust the professionals all the way along in the field that they are professional in. You trust the home inspector. You trust the mortgage guy. You trust the lawyer. They're going to give you better numbers. I've been in the office and I hear agents telling people, oh, your mortgage is going to be $1,200 and this is going to be, and I'm thinking, like, you don't know that. And I'm not going to have you buy a house and then the payment's 14 or 15 and you're not happy with me. So use the professionals all the way along. And the first thing you need to do is check your credit score, because if it's no good, you got to fix it before you can do anything. If you like my stuff, hit the like, the subscribe. drop me a comment. And you can drop a question in the comments if you'd like, and I'll get that answered for you. Have a good day.